Now, very briefly, another country we will talk about is your India and Sri Lanka. So, when we talk about India and Sri Lanka, again here off and on we have seen that depending on the political party in power, we have been the political party in power, they have been either pro India or pro China. And this time Rajapaksa brothers are there in power, and they are now trying to balance out the relationship between China and India. And every country in the neighborhood is now utilizing or balancing out their relationship. They want to get the best of both the worlds from India and China. So, they are playing a balancing act. So, what has been in current with respect to India and Sri Lanka? With respect to India and Sri Lanka, in November 2019, India has given a 400 million line of credit for infrastructure development to Sri Lanka. Similarly, we have given a 50 million US dollar to fight terrorism and enhance intelligence gathering. And then in July 2020, India has announced a 4 million currency swap facility for Sri Lanka under the SAARC framework. Now, see what has happened is during the COVID times, the countries are not able to repay the debt. They want rescheduling. So, what the countries are doing, especially the countries in the neighborhood who have taken debt either from India or China. So, China is also rescheduling, India is also rescheduling the debts. Now, another thing that is very important for us is like in the month of August when elections were conducted in Sri Lanka, and the Rajapaksa brothers, they have won with a vast majority. Mahindra Rajapaksa has become the Prime Minister and Gotabaya Rajapaksa is the President. And after this fabulous victory, and now it's a very stable government there with majority, the brothers are there. So, Sri Lanka has, after coming to power again in the month of August, they have come out, the Sri Lanka has come up with a India first approach. India and Sri Lanka. Now, India first approach. Now, Sri Lanka has said that it would be following India first approach. So, what is this India first approach? India first approach is basically that Sri Lanka has clarified, their foreign minister has clarified that we would be following India first approach. That is, we will be in strategic matters, we will be giving the first preference to India. We would not allow any foreign country or any country to use Sri Lanka as a base to create a strategic problem against India. So, in strategic areas, it is having a India first approach, and none of its actions would be impacting India. None of its actions, none of the actions of the Sri Lanka would be impacting India's strategic or India's security. So, that is what is your India first approach, and this is a very good sign that they have clearly said that they are not going to allow anyone to use their soil against India. Why it is very much clear? Because 2015 Sri Lanka has allowed the Chinese warship to dock in Colombo. So, India has raised the voice against it, but now they have very clearly said that yes, we are in power, we are considered pro-China, but at the same time we assure India that we will not allow the foreign countries to use our soil and be a strategic or security threat to India. So, that is very much clear according to the Sri Lanka. But at the same time, Mr. Rajapaksa has also said that that in strategic matters, we would be going with India first approach, but for economic matters, we have to depend on other players as well. So, it is his statement that on strategic matters, India first approach would be followed, but on economic front, they said we have to give the space to other players also. So this is a clear indication from Sri Lanka that they are going to balance the relationship between India and Sri Lanka. It is very, very important, and during COVID times also we have seen that China is there in Sri Lanka with its medical aid. China is there in Sri Lanka with many of the development programs. It is there in Sri Lanka with rescheduling of the debts. So even now Sri Lanka has clearly said that we have two players, there are two big players in the region, and we are not against each other. We are very clear, economic angle के लिए we have to depend on China, but strategic के लिए, strategic angle की importance we are giving to India. And another very important statement given by Mr. Rajapaksa is that he has clearly said that there is no debt trap related to Hambantota, because there is a criticism against China everywhere globally. It is being criticized that China is giving a debt trap to countries through loans and funds. So they have clearly said that there is no debt trap in Hambantota. It is our own project. This is not China's strategy. So this clearly shows that they are very close to China now, and at the same time they have this India first approach. So we have to see, or there can be a question related to India-Sri Lanka relationship from the prism of China. So there can be a question related to that. So this is what was there with respect to Sri Lanka. And another thing, Sri Lanka has said that the development contract of your eastern port of your Colombo, eastern side का जो आपका Colombo port का जो आपका project था, which was given, there was a memorandum of agreement signed between Sri Sena, the previous government, and India and Japan. So they said that we are going to continue with that. It's not that we are going to move away from it. So whatever was a contract for the development of your eastern terminal of your Colombo port, we would be respecting that. So that is again a sign to India that it's like they are getting closer to China, but it is not anti-India. They are saying आपको strategic मामलों में India first approach would be there, and at the same time जो आपके major development projects थे, आपका जो eastern terminal of your Colombo port, which was signed by the previous government, Sri Sena government, we would be continuing that, we would be honoring that. So this is a positive sign for India. So this was with respect to India and Sri Lanka. Then next is India Sri Lanka हो गया, and then we have Maldives. So if you see Maldives, we can say in the present times India and Maldives are having very, very good relationship. इंडिया और मालदीव्स का रिलेशनशिप बहुत ही क्लोज है इस टाइम पे. वी हैव डन योर ऑपरेशन संजीवनी ड्यूरिंग कोविड टाइम्स. Apart from that, we are developing infrastructure projects in Maldives, cricket stadium, cricket diplomacy, because President Soli has a love for this cricket game. So we are there building a cricket stadium there. Then apart from that, we are also developing a cancer. We are also building a cancer hospital there. और आपका जो ferry connecting routes है, ferry से जो connecting routes है, that is also we are developing. जो माले से कोची तक के बीच में we are developing connectivity routes. So we are giving aids दे रहे हैं, line of credit दे रहे हैं. So with Maldives, we are getting very, very close. So right now there is all a very positive relationship between India and Maldives. So Maldives is strategically very, very important for India, and when in this second term Mr. Modi was elected, his first foreign visit was to Maldives and Sri Lanka. So which is very, very important कि how important is Maldives for us. And if you could recall, very recently Mr. Pompeo, US से जो आए थे आपके उनके foreign secretary Mr. Mike Pompeo, he has visited India and then he has also gone to Maldives and Sri Lanka. It shows the importance, strategic importance of Maldives and Sri Lanka in the Indian Ocean region, and and it is very important because China is trying to have its dominance in this region. So that is why countries like India, USA, everyone is looking for a greater grip or a very friendly relationship with these countries. So with Maldives, currently we are having a very good relationship. And then we have Bangladesh. Okay, now when we talk about India and Bangladesh relationship, so India and Bangladesh relationship has been going through it's a golden phase. Even Mr. Modi as well as his Bangladeshi counterpart both recognize that the current phase of India-Bangladesh relationship is at its best. Bangladesh is a very, very important country for India because of its geoeconomics. This is the fastest growing, one of the fastest growing countries in the world. 8% growth rate है इसका, ठीक है, and very soon it is going to have the GDP जो India के, sorry, it is per capita income is going to be surpassing India's per capita income. This is one of the fastest growing countries in the region, and जहाँ पे आपका fastest growing countries होती हैं, all the major countries would definitely come to that. तो यहाँ पे जो है it has become a very, very important country in the global map from geo-economics point of view. And then if you see for the past 2014 onwards, there have been very close relationship between India and Bangladesh. We have resolved your enclave issue. Then हमारा connectivity projects में we are there. For the first time, we are developing nuclear reactors outside India. Along with Russia, we are doing it in Bangladesh. SAARC में Bangladesh is with us. BIMSTEC में Bangladesh is with us. Bangladesh is very, very important for the development of the northeast, connectivity in the northeast. आपका जो है, it is a very important country, trading country hai, and then apart from that we have historical cultural linkages also. So Bangladesh is very important for us. And in the recent times there have been issues also between India and Bangladesh, but before that when Mrs. Sheikh Hasina, she was there in October 2019. Sheikh Hasina visited India, and then we have also upgraded our agreements with respect to port facilities, implementation of India's underutilized lines of credit, coastal surveillance may we have upgraded, then agreements on education, culture was there, counter terror operations, cooperation agreements were also signed. Then we have energy sharing agreements also signed between India and Bangladesh. So this shows that the two countries are getting very close, and Bangladesh is very, very important. So 2019 October when Sheikh Hasina came, further we have seen that the mutual agreements or cooperation agreements have become more wider, more vast. So that is, it has become more diversified. This shows that the India and Bangladesh are living one of the best phases of their relationship. And at the same time, but there are certain issues like तीस्ता water का issue है अभी, and पीछे जो था आपका current में we can say that when India's domestic policies of NRC and CAA, Citizenship Amendment Act and NRC, Bangladesh was not happy with that. Bangladesh has subtly raised its voice against this. So it has cancelled the visit of some of its ministers to India, and it has raised the voice that it was not at all required. The statement of Sheikh Hasina was that it was not at all required at the moment. Similarly, the CAA and NRC, even Afghanistan has said that when it is said that the minorities which are persecuted in Afghanistan, so Afghanistan ka comment tha, everyone is persecuted in Afghanistan. It's not a few, but everyone is persecuted under the Taliban regime there. So similarly, Bangladesh Prime Minister has said that this was not required at the moment. So this is a very big statement from Bangladesh, which was against CAA, which was against your NRC. So it has brought somewhat a kind of a, we cannot say it has brought the relationship low, but yes, there was some kind of a issue. They were not happy. Similarly, तीस्ता का resolve नहीं हो रहा है. That is also something Bangladesh is not happy with. In the current times also, when Sheikh Hasina came to India last year, it was highly expected that there will be a resolution, but nothing has happened on that front. And then another thing which she has given a hint to India when she visited was related to your stopping of the onion export to Bangladesh. Bangladesh consumes onion, it is a staple, it's a major import from India, and we have all of a sudden stopped the exports to Bangladesh because of our internal demand for onions. So she has in a very subtle manner said that we should have informed them before. We should have informed them before taking this step. So what does this indicate? This indicates the issues which are there. It is saying that if you are changing any policies, please inform us. It's not only onions, it's not about onions only, it's about like आप subtle changes, जो भी आप sudden changes कर रहे हो, please हमें inform करो. It is, you have to inform us. We are not happy with your immediate change in policies, because now Bangladesh is also geo-economically, it's a very very important country. तो अगर हमारे यहाँ कोई policy change होती है, that is what even the voices were raised by Bhutan and Nepal against our GST and demonetization. Sudden policy changes. This is not a good sign for the countries who are ready to invest, who are ready to do business with you. अगर आप business कर रहे हो और आपके उसमें predictability नहीं है, all of a sudden you are changing your policies, it would not be liked by your partners. So that is what they have, in a way, they have shown their concerns to India. So बांग्लादेश का जो है CAA के अगेंस्ट थोड़ा सा concerns था, and then आपका जो है अनियन का policies जो आपने change की, it's not onion, it's about the policies, जो आप policies change कर रहे हो, they have given us a kind of a signal. Now onwards, when you change policies, please inform us before. Please take us into confidence. So that is also very important. And then most important thing is like Bangladesh अभी जो है आपका it's very important country geo economics की चलते, and 2016 Bangladesh and China has signed a loan agreement of $2 billion. So this is something is very important for us, because China is having its presence in Bangladesh. It is spreading itself in China. It is spreading itself in Bangladesh. China is spreading its tentacles in Bangladesh. So it is very very important for India, because Bangladesh is very important for India. When China is getting its hold in Bangladesh, so again it's a issue of concern. And then again what has happened, CAA हुआ, NRC हुआ, थोड़े से आपके जो थे they were not happy with this, and in the meantime we had this COVID हो गया, so we were not having much of the bilateral आपका visits and everything stopped. But very recently our foreign secretary Mr. Harshvardhan Shringla, he has visited Bangladesh, and he has assured Bangladesh, because Bangladesh is very important for us, so he has assured Bangladesh that you are our priority in our neighborhood first policy. We have given them 10 locomotive engines, हम अभी लेके गए उनके पास. During your COVID times, we have given them all required medical assistance that we could have provided them. So this is somewhere we are trying to again have a good relationship. And at the same time, initially we were on Rohingya issues, we were more pro Myanmar, but for the first time we are now showing the concerns of Rohingyas from the angle of Bangladesh also. And even Bangladesh has clearly told us that we are looking for a fruitful resolution of Rohingya issues when India is having a very important position of non-permanent membership in UNSC. So this is also, there is a change in our Rohingya stance from completely pro Myanmar to pro Bangladesh also. So this is very very important direction that we are moving towards. And then at the same time, because of the COVID, there has been like आपका बेनापोल, पेट्रापोल जो आपके borders थे, everything was closed. Now they are requesting India that we should open the borders because many of the patients in Bangladesh are waiting to get themselves treated in India. So again, this shows the mutual dependence. So India and Bangladesh, they are very, very important players in the region, and at the same time दोनों जगह भी stable government है, and it's a very good phase of our relationship that is going on. So this is with respect to India and Bangladesh. जो आपके issues थे which was related to your NRC and CAA, COVID के बाद जो है, again Mr. Shringla has gone there and we have tried to discuss on these issues, and further we have come out with the thing that this is the best time the relationship is going through. Then Myanmar is again very, very important neighbor for India, and nothing much has happened in the recent past, but yes, with respect to India and Myanmar, there have been certain current things like last year 2019 July, we have delivered indigenously built torpedoes, we have given them submarines. So because China is already providing our neighbors with its defense equipments, its defense manufacturer things, so what we are also doing is we are also trying to give them our own homely, this indigenously produced submarines, torpedoes, OPVs, offshore patrol vehicles and all vessels. So these things we have given to Myanmar in 2019. And then very recently what we have done is, very recently again Mr. Harshvardhan Shringla and our our foreign secretary, as well as our army chief, they have also visited Myanmar. So during this COVID time. So this is also very important because we are assuring our neighbors that we are with you, because at the time of pandemic we have seen that China is also aggressively doing its efforts in our neighborhood. So very recent visit of Mr. Harshvardhan Shringla as well as Mr. Our army chief to Myanmar, it's a very positive sign, and we are showing that you are very important country to us. Then in October 2020, some of the things that we have done to Myanmar is India to provide debt service relief. We are providing them debt service relief under the G20 debt service suspension initiative to help them mitigate the impact of COVID-19. Similarly, we have provided them medical assistance, and then also there have been discussions for the operationalize of the Sitwe port by 2021 March. That is very important. Sitwe is very important, and Myanmar is very important for Sitwe point of view, from your Act East policy point of view, and then it is an ASEAN country, and China is there in ASEAN. So it is very, very important linchpin in India and our endeavor into Indo-Pacific. So this is a very important country, and the recent things that have happened is like we have done a commitment that by 2021 March we are going to operationalize the Sitwe project. Let us see how it works out. And then we have also done an agreement that we will not allow each other territories to be used against each other by any foreign agency. So that is also something which has happened latest October 2020. Then Myanmar we have done, this we have done. Okay. Another very important aspect, and that is with respect to our India and China relationship. So we have done almost all the neighbors. We have started with Pakistan, we have done Afghanistan, we have done Nepal, Bhutan, whatever, जो एक point भी अगर current में था, we have discussed that. So why we are discussing all these small points? Because ये small points आपको इकट्ठा करके you can use it in neighborhood first policy से अगर कोई question आता है with respect to current.